A lot of people like to choose braided line when rigging big minnows, creek chubs, redtails, suckers in the fall for big walleyes deep, and I just do not find that to be the best fit for me. I like running an 8-pound monofilament line. I choose that for the stretch in the monofilament when I have a big fish on. A lot of these good redtail, creek chub, sucker, rigging lakes, very, very clear because of the zebra mussels. I feel like monofilament fits best in that. Some people might say fluorocarbon. I would not choose fluorocarbon or braid for that, because when you are feeding these big fish, you got to let them eat the big minnows. It's dragging along the bottom. Fluorocarbon's a little bit heavier than monofilament. I feel like that is an advantage, not getting snagged on rocks, zebra mussels, stuff like that, as well as braid. Another reason is when you have a, post cold front bite, sometimes you only get so many bites per day, whether you're tournament fishing or fun fishing, and they need to eat that big minnow. Sometimes they'll just be hanging on there, and I feel like you can kind of pull the fishing rod away from them and they'll finish eating that minnow, and you aren't going to do that a lot with braid. I feel like they'll feel you, and mono, you just have that little bit of stretch to get them to finish eating that minnow before you finally give them line and finish the bite off. Another tactic that I found really, really good for monofilament line is actually sharp shooting fish with creek chubs. It's kind of like jigging wraps. You drive around with your trolling motor till you find a school of fish, and you drop right down on them. And a lot of times they'll eat it right away. And having that monofilament line there, really clear, they can't really feel you. They don't see the braided line dragging around on the bottom because you're fishing them straight vertical, I think helps you get more bites in the end. So with the rig I'm using here, I have a 1/2 ounce egg weight and 5, 6, 7 foot leader, depending on what you like. And I'm going right over the fish and dropping directly down on them. And a lot of times I'm dropping on schools or pods of fish, not just a single fish. And what I'll do is I'll hit the bottom and I'll reel up so that my egg weight is 2 to 3 feet off the bottom, and I can feel my redtail or creek chub kind of digging, trying to get away from that fish. And usually that's when you get the bites. The fish will latch on and kind of tug a little bit, and then you play with them, and then give them the line they need, and you can go into getting ready to set the hook. And it all depends on the size of fish, as far as if you think you're on a big fish spot, or if something just ate one of your really big redtails, how long you feed them, and different hook sets too. I use a 1/0 hook, or just actually a straight 1 when I rig big minnows, because a lot of times when you go to set the hook, like a 2 or a 4 or whatever will turn inside the big minnow when you set the hook or when you tighten up the line on the fish. When I go to set the hook on what I think would be a bigger fish or a solid bite, a lot of times I just start reeling as fast as I can and catch up with my line and that rod tip. If you're using a rod with a medium action with an extra fast tip, it'll just all of a sudden just load up and cinch right there, and you have your fish connected. If I'm on like maybe an eater bite, 14 to 16, 17 inch bite, I'll reel down till I feel some weight, and then I'll give it just a quick wrist snap to make sure that I got that hook either in the corner of the mouth or top of the mouth, because a lot of times with the bigger fish, they'll have it ate all the way down and you don't have to worry about it, but the smaller fish might not have that minnow all the way down, and you'll catch them in the corner of the mouth. So that's kind of how I do fall redtail fishing, and seems to be working out all right.